This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Welcome to News 25. It's Wednesday, February 17th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Kohler. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Office will be assisting for the memorial service for Gerald Bear Smith. Smith was a bailiff at the Nye County Courthouse and passed away January 18th from complications from the coronavirus at the age of 60. The Nye County Sheriff's Office will be escorting Bear, leaving the Pahrump Family Mortuary on Vicky Ann on the south side of Pahrump at 1 p.m. Saturday, traveling from Mans North on Homestead Road to Highway 160, turning on Wilson Road and ending at the Nye Communities Coalition, which is at 1020 East Wilson. From 2 until 6 p.m., there will be a walk-through memorial service for Bear at the Coalition open to the public. For more information about the service and to help out the family, go to KPVM's Facebook page.
The Pahrump community is mourning the loss of a beloved resident and founding member of the Shadow Mountain Community Players. Carlton McCaslin passed away Monday at the age of 78.
Carlton McCaslin was born in Ventura, California in 1942. In 1994, he moved from Oregon to Pahrump, and for the next 27 years, Carlton would make a name for himself in the Pahrump community. He helped open the Pahrump Walmart, serving as the produce man until his retirement. He served as chairman of the Harvest Festival Rodeo, now called the Pahrump Fall Festival, and served on the board of the Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce. He also served 2 terms as the Pahrump Community Library chairman. And on the other side of the mountain, Carlton even spent time as a sheriff at Bonnie Springs Ranch. Carlton served for years on the board of the Wild West Extravaganza and brought the much-anticipated melodrama to the stage every year, encouraging the audience to throw popcorn at him and boo. But of all his community service, he may be best known as a founding member of the Shadow Mountain Community Players. Friends and colleagues say, although he loved to play the villain, he was always a hero. The Shadow Mountain Community Players performed for a number of years at New Hope Fellowship, making Nevada Treasure RV Resort their final home. The Shadow Mountain Community Players even received the Andre Butch Harper Act of Kindness Award in 2018. His last performances were the Haunted Driveway this past Halloween and the Holiday Winter Drive-Thru at Sheriff Sharon Worley's house on Basin Avenue, who is a dear friend of the McCaslin family. Sheriff Worley's son, John, says that his chair where he played Scrooge will always remain in the drive at the site of his last performance. As for his personal life, Carlton was married to his best friend and soulmate, Gail, since 1963. Carlton is survived by his brother, Terry McCaslin, sister, Charlotte McCaslin Bianchetti, children, Lori McCaslin Stats, Fiona McCaslin Blunt, Garrett McCaslin, and R.J. McCaslin, and 6 grandchildren. Funeral arrangements are pending. A celebration of life will be held for the public in the summer, according to the McCaslin family. And he will be missed. Well, an accident this afternoon between a garbage truck and a small pickup truck sent one to Desert View Hospital. Traffic was temporarily blocked at northbound Highway 160 and Irene Street this afternoon for a 2-vehicle crash involving a dump truck and a small pickup truck that occurred on Mesquite Avenue and Highway 160. All occupants were checked out on scene by medics with Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and initially declined to be transported. However, medics were called back to the scene a short time later for one female who sustained injuries to be taken to Desert View Hospital. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units were on scene and conducted the traffic control. One witness told News 25 that the dump truck crossed the intersection in front of the green pickup truck, causing the accident. Nevada Highway Patrol is conducting the investigation.
Winter weather is causing slowdowns in the business world, and we'll have more on that when we come back right after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest-reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Winter weather is causing a retail slowdown. Legislators will hear more about the wild trading of GameStop shares, and Twitter stock hits a record high. Here's more.
Topping our news, retail shopping is slowing down this week. Severe winter weather forced Walmart, Kroger, and Target to temporarily close stores, mostly in Texas, as icy winds knocked out power. Wicked weather disrupted service at the FedEx hub in Memphis, causing package delays around the nation. On Capitol Hill, the House Financial Services Committee begins hearings Thursday as lawmakers and federal regulators investigate that wild trading in GameStop shares. Young traders banded together using social media and trading apps to buy up shares of GameStop and other beaten down stocks that hedge funds were shorting, which stunned traders on Wall Street. Twitter shares are flying high for the 11th session in a row. That stock posted a record high on Tuesday. Starbucks investors are perking up after Chinese competitor Luckin Coffee moved forward with its Chapter 15 bankruptcy filing. Luckin has been rounded up by a financial misconduct investigation.
Well, there was a saturation patrol here and in Las Vegas over this past weekend, being Valentine's Day and President's Day. And Valentine's Day weekend was a deadly one on Las Vegas roadways. Nevada Highway Patrol has released more details on 3 separate crashes that killed a total of 4 people.
Last Friday, February 12th, 23-year-old Kyrone Sims Jr. of Fontana, California, died when he was struck by several vehicles on Interstate 215 near Cheyenne Avenue. Witnesses say Sims was laying in the travel lanes at the time he was struck. He died at the scene. Saturday, February 13th, 18-year-old Blake Enrique Reyes of Las Vegas died when the motorcycle he was riding collided with a pickup truck on Blue Diamond Road at Lindell Road. Troopers say Reyes was traveling at a high rate of speed when the pickup truck made a left-hand turn in front of him. Reyes was thrown from the motorcycle and was pronounced deceased on scene. Another crash Saturday killed 2 people from California, and the man investigators say is responsible is under arrest and facing several charges, including DUI. Troopers say 44-year-old Christopher Lambert ran a red light at the intersection of Las Vegas Boulevard and St. Rose Parkway. His pickup struck a Honda Pilot that was turning left in the intersection, causing the Honda to overturn. Both occupants in the Honda died as a result of the crash. They're identified as 46-year-old Edwin Gutierrez Franco and 36-year-old Jorge Franco, both from North Hollywood, California. Lambert is now facing 2 counts of driving under the influence above the legal limit, resulting in death, 1 count of a driver failing to obey a red traffic light, 1 count of unlawful use of a cell phone without a hands-free device, and 1 count of failure to wear a safety belt, shoulder harness. Nevada Highway Patrol's Southern Command has now recorded 8 fatal crashes, resulting in 10 deaths so far this year.
A call for a domestic disturbance leads to the arrest of a Pahrump man.
On February 16th at approximately 11:22 a.m., deputies were dispatched to an address in Pahrump in reference to a domestic. Upon arrival, they spoke with Dakota Trinkle. Trinkle stated that he and his wife had been arguing, and they began physically fighting, and he struck her in the face with the back of his hand. Deputies observed that the victim had a swollen and actively bleeding lip. The victim refused to speak to deputies. 3 independent witnesses stated that they allegedly saw the couple arguing and that they saw Trinkle physically hit the victim with his fist. They also allegedly observed the victim fall to the ground after she was hit. A search of Trinkle revealed that he had a domestic violence strangulation conviction in 2017 out of Lake County Circuit Court. Because Trinkle allegedly admitted that he did strike the victim and there were visible injuries to the victim, Trinkle was placed under arrest for domestic battery in the second. He was taken to Nye County Detention Center and booked accordingly.
Well, having Nye County taken off the fiscal watch list was a big relief to the Board of County Commissioners. At the February 2nd meeting, the commissioners expressed their gratitude to Treasurer John Prudent and his staff for their hard work in identifying and correcting deficiencies. Prudent also was praised, and he praised his staff for their work, and the commissioners gave the team a standing ovation for their strong efforts.
Nye County was officially voted to be removed from the fiscal watch list by the State of Nevada Committee on Local Government Finance at our Zoom meeting with them on January 28th. When I originally was appointed to the position of Nye County Treasurer on January 7th, 2019, with Commissioners Leo Blendo, Deborah Strickland, and Donna Cox placing the deciding vote, I said that the BOCC would have the Treasurer's reports on time, and as the CLGF confirmed at the meeting on the 28th of January, we have consistently been delivering the Treasurer report and bank reconciliation report on a monthly basis, according to NRS requirements, as well as correction of other Treasury Department deficiencies that were identified. You'll remember that Nye County was placed on fiscal watch due to material deficiencies revealed in the fiscal year 17 to 18 and the fiscal year 18 to 19 outside audits by the Daniel C. MacArthur Limited Accounting Firm. These audits were conducted prior to my appointment, and I was appointed with a mandate to correct the deficiencies identified for the Treasurer Department in the audits. The departments that were cited as having deficiencies were the Comptroller and Finance Department, the Treasurer Department, and the Sheriff's Department. As I stated when I took office, the structural changes that were needed to correct the deficiencies in the Treasurer office would take time to be analyzed, for systems to be developed, and for deficiencies to then be corrected. Over the past 2 years, through restructuring of department staff, reverse engineering of the Treasury report and bank reconciliation report, scrubbing the underlying data, and removing over 500 erroneous entries by Raylene Powers, my Chief Deputy Treasurer, as well as identifying cross-training needs, the systems have been developed to ensure that the reports are compiled and delivered to the BOCC according to the deadline required by the NRS. The Treasury Department could not have met the requirements set by the CLGF without the hard work of my Treasury Department staff, Chief Deputy Treasurer Raylene Powers and Deputy Treasurers Corey Ebeling, Cami Lear, Tracy Calderon, and Samuel Alsop Jr. That said, it is important to keep in mind that Nye County would not be qualified to be removed from fiscal watch if our Comptroller Savannah Rucker, the Nye County Finance Department, and Sheriff Worley had not taken the steps required to correct the deficiencies in their departments that Mr. MacArthur's audit had cited. Remediation of some of the deficiencies required that our departments work together to identify solutions, and I am pleased to say that for those items, our respective departments collaborated effectively and at a historically unprecedented level.
And we'll have more News 25 just after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Welcome back. Most people who get COVID-19 recover in about 4 weeks, but for others, coronavirus symptoms can linger for months. Dr. Kristin Englund is an infectious disease specialist with Cleveland Clinic. She says early studies suggest anyone who contracts the virus is at risk for long-term symptoms.
One recent publication described that patients who have long COVID symptoms aren't necessarily those that were hospitalized. So even if you have what's considered a fairly mild infection, so you didn't need to be in the hospital, but were still symptomatic from it, you run the risk that you may persist in having some of these symptoms.
Dr. Englund says there's a wide variety of long-term health issues that may linger after a COVID-19 infection. Some people suffer from persistent fatigue, headache, shortness of breath, or chest pain, while others may experience brain fog or memory issues. Anxiety and depression can also linger. Dr. Englund says right now there's no way to tell who's going to experience ongoing symptoms after fighting coronavirus.
We don't really know right now how many patients will develop these long COVID symptoms after they have had this infection. Studies look at anywhere between 10% and 80%. So there could be a large number of people who are experiencing symptoms well after, again, that 4-week time period when we expect people to normally recover.
Some medical centers have started special clinics to treat COVID-19 long haulers. If you've had a confirmed case of coronavirus and still aren't feeling well after 4 weeks, Dr. Englund recommends talking to your primary care physician about further evaluation.
All right, well, it's Wednesday, and it's time to meet another pet available at Desert Haven. We're going to go to Darbie O'Donnell, who introduces us to a familiar feline named Alex.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darbie here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Alex. You might remember Alex because he was featured on this program before, but he's been here for quite some time, so we thought we would bring him back again. Alex is a 3-year-old gray tabby. He has actually really interesting colors because he's mainly white all on the bottom, but has the gray tabby up on top of down his back and on his little head. Kind of looks like he's wearing a cute little helmet. He is extremely affectionate, likes to go and play. He still has that kind of a kitten personality. Unfortunately, Alex's owner, the reason why he's here is because his owner was incarcerated, so he had to come and go to the shelter. So if you want to come and see Alex or any of his friends here in the cat room at Desert Haven Animal Society, please give them a call ahead of time to make an appointment. 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Just so you know, if you do adopt a cat from an animal shelter or a rescue, experts say that it can take up from 3 days to up to 2 weeks for a cat to get adjusted into the home. What you need to do when you adopt a cat, specifically, especially if you have dogs or other cats that they need to go and interact with, is first of all, you need to go and introduce them through a doorway so they can kind of sniff each other so they're in a safe zone. And number 2, you need to have an area for them to go and retreat to. So you need to set up like their transportation kennel or some sort of bed area that's more in a little reclused area so that they can go there when they get overwhelmed or when they're feeling shy, because they need time to be able to feel comfortable in their home. Do not expect a cat to go to your home like a dog and go and feel automatically comforted and welcomed and everything like that. Cats are a little bit different. They need some time to adjust to a new environment. They need a little safe areas that they can go to when they feel overwhelmed or just need to be alone.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. We're just outside checking out this windy afternoon. Look at that windsock. Man, have you ever seen a windsock so full? I don't know. It's crazy. We've had 25-mile-an-hour winds gusting up and down this afternoon. I think these winds are going to be disappearing, and we've got a nice weather treat for you in about 4 days as the temperature's going to be heating up. We'll tell you all about the weather right after this.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and today we're celebrating the birthday of not only Michael Jordan, his royal airness, but Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, you can be like Mike, or, you know, if you don't have cable, maybe be like Larry the Cable Guy. You hook it up. You'll figure it out. Get her down, you know. Out in Fernley, 43 degrees tonight for a high, 21 for a low. Fallon, you're seeing 45 degrees, 20 for a low tonight. Carson City, you're up to 42 for a high today. 21 later this evening, and a Tonopah, or chill spot for the state, 36 degrees is all you got and all you're going to get. And there's 13 for a low tonight. You win the award on both ends of the clock. Look at that. Goldfield, you're not too far off that mark. 39 degrees for high today, 14 for a low. And out in Beatty, it's 51 degrees, 27 for a low. Amargosa, 56 degrees for high today, 30 for a low. And all the way stepping out to Las Vegas, 57 and 41. Death Valley, you're seeing 69 and 42. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, well, let's take a look. 53 is our current temperature. And we got as much as 55 today, so it's been pretty pleasant day. Other than that wind, 21 miles an hour, whoo, whipping down the plain. 17% humidity. Clouds don't even have a chance, but even still, a little bit of humidity. Doesn't feel too bad. Sun rose this morning at 6:28. It's setting right now at 5:27 p.m. We'll see a low tonight of around 31 degrees, and the winds continuing out of the north-northeast to 13 miles per hour. But let's take a look at this cannon on into the week. Clear skies shining on me, and look at these temperatures heating up. That's right, we got 56 for a projected high tomorrow, and then that'll jump about 10 degrees to the mid-60s, 65, 64 degrees. Head into the weekend. Saturday is going to be a bit blustery. 19-mile-per-hour winds is what's on the way, but after that, boy, clear skies, and temperatures all the way up to the mid-70s come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So pretty exciting, good stuff, man. We love in the springtime. I like Pahrump in the spring, don't you? Yes, you do. Back to the desk, it's Missy and Deanna.
All right, I'm Deanna. I'm Missy. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.